true. Okay. Right then. Theme tune.
Oh yeah, theme tune.
Yeah.
Thought we had one of those.
CDs, those round shiny things you used to save all your pocket money up for each week and sit on the edge of the bed listening to while reading the lyrics. Just me? My name's Alan, and I think I have the best CD collection in the world. Here to disagree with me is my good friend Ross. On each episode, we'll chat about each album, what it means to me, and why I think my collection is greater than yours.
Fly to El Salvador, I don't know why, and I don't know what for. I've seen the picture for myself.
So, yes.
It's not a very good band name. Well, I guess
It's not a very good band name, no.
I suppose I might have thought it was good at some point, but I thought, no. I mean, I would imagine a lot of bands had that name. You'd have thought.
It's quite, it's quite a an obvious kind of name, isn't it, I suppose.
Mm.
It has no relevance to them, as far as I know.
No, I imagine it's just like a lot of bands where you're just picking a noun.
Yeah.
One word noun, and that's it. And it sounds cool sometimes, doesn't it?
If they came out now, they'll probably be called athletes, like plural, because you get a lot of plural bands now, don't you?
Yeah. Possibly.
There's come across a band the other day called Lakes. I mean, it's just
yeah, and also you think, well, there must be loads of other bands called Lakes because it's just an obvious kind of cool thing.
Yeah.
So
portals, projects. Loads.
You could go. Yeah, any noun you pick, there'll be a band called that, won't there?
Shit.
But yeah, there'll be a band called Shits. Shit. There will definitely be loads. Probably.
Yeah.
But it was so.
Anyway,
I listened to the album yesterday. Well, when did I listen to it?
2003 album, debut album by Athlete. After they released a couple of EPs beforehand in 2002, then they released this album based on the single.
Debut album.
The debut album, and like off the back of the single called "You Got the Style."
Yeah, you got the style, and we got the style, and they got the style, and everybody's got it.
Which is kind of ironic.
Well, You Got the Style was the single they released from that album.
Yes.
But is it Westside
was an early
Westside was from the EP, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which got them the recognition from the record label, I think.
Yeah. From Parlophone.
So they were very quick. It's a strange one. It's like one of those ones where you read again. They started and then very quickly found themselves with a record deal and an album or whatever. Yeah. And being in the charts and stuff. But I can tell why. So I thought I started listening to it on Monday, and I was thinking it's the quickest turnaround of opinion that I've ever had. Because the first song was El Salvador. Right?
I think I know what you're going to say, but carry on.
Oh, right, okay. So the way it starts off sounds okay, sounds quite good. I thought this is alright. It's a bit better. I thought this is more promising like the other albums you've given me. This is probably more to my take, closer to what my taste is, maybe.
Right, okay.
Indie kind of rock.
Yeah.
But then it was his just the way he pronounced words to start with. Is that what you were thinking? I was
Yeah.
Starts off like singing in this kind of American kind of thing. I thought it was a bit like the Thrills or Eels.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think other people have compared them to Eels as well because it's very similar.
Yeah.
But then he says the way he said, I think like I don't know if it was the word "got" or something, but it was a really horrible like.
He doesn't pronounce his T's properly.
Oh yeah, and it was like "got." And I was just like,
South London, mate. South London.
Yeah, so it was like American, and then he said one word in like a Cockney way.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to like this. Like, I honestly thought that was going to ruin it for me. I thought, I'm not going to like this at all because I don't like the vocals. Obviously, I'd already heard like Wires and You Got the Style. And I'd heard a few songs off this. I was surprised whilst I was listening to it without looking at the track listing. I was kept surprising myself because I'd known.
Oh right.
I'd heard a few of them.
Oh okay.
But yeah, after that brief bit of thinking, oh no, I'm not gonna like this because of the way he pronounces words, I started to really enjoy it. And El Salvador was really surprisingly great. to be honest. Like a really good song. Yeah. And it was like halfway through, I just thought, I think it must have been halfway through the song, and the chorus kicked in again. I thought, this is brilliant. Really uplifting and really good. And I didn't expect it when I started listening to it.
It's a fun album, isn't it? It's just happy.
When you've heard Wireds, you just don't expect El Salvador, do you?
Yeah.
Which is like a lads. I could just imagine songs like that. And what's the Westworld one? Like, I just imagine songs like that being sung by like indie lads in the early 2000s. Like, Fred Perry's on and stuff.
I love this song, mate. Come on, let's get it. Let's have it.
I imagine they're a very manly band.
Yeah.
People that like people that like football would like them. I reckon.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, rightly so. They're good.
Our friend Wikipedia. It says post Britpop.
Yeah, I read a bit about that because didn't it say like it said the EP? I think was it their EP or their album? They said they were moving away from Britpop.
Yeah.
Into indie. It was another one of those ones where they said the record deal came after they changed their sound.
Yeah. Oh right. Yeah.
So it can't change that much, really. It's still within that.
Or did the record label tell them to change their sound?
That's what it seems like, doesn't it? Sometimes, like they've come up to them at the second gig or something and said,
"Yeah,
right, come back to us in a year's time when you've changed your sound. We'll sign you."
Yeah, I really like your music, but I want you to sound very much different.
Less like Oasis, please.
Yeah, play different things, please, and different notes, and drop your teeth.
Yes. I don't like that American accent. Can you just sometimes put in the odd Cockney word?
Athlete. Yeah.
But they also athlete. Yeah. What's it called? A glottal stop, isn't it? I think you call that.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think it is.
But like, they fit in because my interpretation. As soon as you said athlete to me last week, I thought embrace. I get those bands mixed up. Another one because it's just a one-word.
Yeah,
band name from the same era, probably the same kind of music, really. There was lots of bands that sounded the same around that era, but Athletes seemed to be the ones that came out on top. When you look at their sales and things, like when you look at this album, didn't really do well in the charts, but went platinum.
Yeah.
And then the next album went to number one straight away, and I just thought I don't remember that being the big Athlete.
I know, yeah.
Sort of Athlete Mania. I just remember it being on like a compilation album that my dad had, probably.
Yeah.
You know, like those ones where they called. There was an album called The Album, was it?
Oh.
Where it had loads of mediocre bands on it, like Kaiser Chiefs and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it was
and the Stereophonics.
The best album in the world ever.
There was stuff like that, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think I had
it was just boring bands, really, wasn't it? Kind of not boring, like Elbow and stuff like that. But
yeah, I had one from '96, I think. And it had like early Oasis, obviously, and I'm not even sure I've got that CD anymore.
The album 2001. Oh, here it was. Oh no, this is probably better than I thought. Actually, this is like the Dandy Warhols.
Well, 2001 was before.
Oh, it was before this, was it?
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So this had like Ash, Dandy Warhols, Manic Street Preachers, Coldplay.
Was it? Did they have Girl from Mars?
No, Shining Light.
Oh, okay.
Feeder, Star Sailor.
Oh no, yeah. Yeah, Girl from Mars was 97.
This would have been right up your street. Embrace.
Yeah. I had Shine 97.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, they did a few. Obviously, that was before Athlete as well, but that had like Oasis, Manson, Three Doors Down.
I think I had a Q one, but then Q gave them away, did they? I don't remember.
Yeah, Q did. Yeah.
And I had Kerrang, the ones that you could buy for Kerrang.
Yeah.
Those are good.
I've still got quite a few old Kerrang ones. I don't know what to do with them.
They'd be so nostalgic, wouldn't they? I suppose it saves you making a nostalgic playlist, doesn't it? Yeah. If you put that on, I bet it would all come flooding back.
Oh, Lost Prophets. I'll skip that one. Okay.
Yes. Oh no. There'll be loads of bands on there. You'd have to skip. Oh no. Let's just turn this off, shall we?
Oh, okay. I'm going to listen to Athlete.
Oh, they're all from Warped Tour.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, put Athlete back on. That's safe.
Yeah. that safe is quite a good word, isn't it?
Yes, this is what I thought. Like even
inoffensive, just kind of happy.
This is why I think they were popular. I think they're popular because it was so accessible to everyone. Like I can imagine my dad and my mum probably liked Athlete at the time. You know what I mean? It'd be one of those bands where couples would go, "Yeah, let's go and see Athlete. Like, let's go and see Travis." Yeah. Like
Travis. That's
another
example.
one, isn't it? Like you would go, "Yeah, I remember that on the radio." Like so, the dad would like it. Yeah, everyone would love it. So, but I thought it was better than that. Like when I was listening to it, I thought, it all kind of sounded very samey. Especially when you get halfway through, I kind of lost it a bit. I thought, I don't know what song I'm on now.
I found that You Got the Style, and then Vehicles and Animals is quite a good song. That is track 8.
That's the one I started on
yesterday. And then it's got the very sort of sing-alongable refrain kind of thing. I can't remember.
For some reason, the second half of the album was less memorable. In fact, most of the albums isn't that memorable. But in a way, I was really enjoying it because if you listen to it like properly, it's like the songs are really simple.
Yeah,
like it is pure songwriting, isn't it? I think that's what they've succeeded at. It's just like they've really well structured and written. But then when you listen to it closely, it's really well like what do you call it? Arranged, I guess. Like. You just hearing little bits of bass that aren't obvious. And like little bits of that. They've got like this cheesy. They use a bit what's it called? Stylophone. You can hear that in a few songs. You know the little electronic thing with the pen. They use that a few times, and then they've got like this cheap keyboard sound. You know what I mean? It sounds like a kid's keyboard.
Yeah.
They've got all that sort, but it's all well done.
Like, the last song is called Licasio, and it's very kind of electronic, and it doesn't mention the word Licasio in. So I wonder if they were just kind of thinking, oh, what should we call this then?
It might be one of those ones where
and it just like the
working title.
The lyrics just repeat 3 times, and that's it.
Give it up. Another time, never meant to overstep the line.
So I was watching Glastonbury. Glastonbury 2003, but it was like...
Right.
They looked exactly sort of how I sort of imagined. They remind me of like how Arctic Monkeys looked when they started out. You know, just like some lads going to the pub. After they've been on site. I don't know. Just normal blokes. That's what.
Check shirts.
No. I think you're maybe thinking even more dressed up than they are.
Oh right, okay.
Like they honestly look like they're going out to shops, like to the corner shop. If you're playing Glastonbury, you'd sort of think about it a bit more. But it was jeans and t-shirt, baggy jeans, t-shirt. One of them had like a jumper on that was obviously some kind of designer, like French connections. I don't know, but one of them looked like Mike Skinner.
Right. Okay.
From the streets, the keyboard player looked exactly like him. But I thought, because at first I thought that could be in the realms of possibility, but no, I don't think it is. Well, I just saw that on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
But here's something that's going to blow your mind.
I'm ready.
Because I watched El Salvador play when they played at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
The verse melody of El Salvador is exactly the same. It's exactly the same as Complicated by Avril Lavigne.
Right.
And Avril Lavigne's song came out in 2002.
Chill out, what she yelling for? Lay back, it's all been done before.
Tear this place down. I've got the last game on my mind. Not soon, friends in ages. Have I been left behind?
Oh yeah.
Which one are you singing there? That could be either of them.
What you waiting for? It's all been done before. Oh yeah.
They're identical, but I think they get away with it because they probably wrote them at the same time. Really, it's not like if one of them was 10 years before, you'd go right, you're taking the piss. But it's one of those. there's a term for it where people write something exactly the same, but like there's no way they would have heard each other's. I'm surprised no one picked up on it though.
I read a few reviews earlier, and they which one's this? There you go. It's from pitchfork.com. I was reading this earlier, and I thought I couldn't think what they meant. You Got the Style happily references softly doting rock chorusing. Fair enough. The slickness of 80s English pop and that country's fickle climate. While Salvador is an inviting opening sing-along of charming guitars and natty scarves blowing fancily in a gentle breeze. Pitchfork. The latter is also the closest approximation of what no one's been waiting for. That's quite a good line, actually.
I like that.
Yeah. But most everyone will secretly love a Super Furries style cover of Avril Lavigne's Complicated.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And so I was like, I was reading that and thinking, what on earth are they talking about? But now you've mentioned it.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Super Furries gets mentioned a lot. I don't know if it was they were actually friends with them. Or that was just a term that people use now where they're trying to put stars together. They go, oh, they're mates in Super Furry animals. But
I don't really know much of Super Furry animals.
I'm thinking of Supergrass, am I? I get mixed up between those two a lot.
Super Furries are Welsh.
The Welsh ones.
Yeah.
With Gruff Rhys, is that?
Gruff Rhys, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Supergrass is... what's his face? Gavin...
Gaz Coombs.
Gaz Coombs, that's
Gaz Coombs, yeah. Yeah. Do you ever hear any Gaz Coombs solo stuff? Like, really, really good. Like,
all right. What, better than Supergrass, or...?
Just quite quite deep. It's a lot deeper. I think the Supergrass were like, poppy and fun and stuff. And yeah, his solo stuff's a lot sort of deper and yeah.
That'd be interesting. He plays at every festival, doesn't he? So.
Yeah. Commercially, I don't certainly not as successful or accessible, but yeah, really good.
That'd be interesting. Like Supergrass is one that passed me by a little bit, but then when you look back at them, like when you look back at how many hits they had, you go, oh right, you forget. Like, they might release one hit a year, but like when you put them all together, you go, wow, what a career! Like,
Gaz Coombs also joined Robbie Williams playing All Right on some big Robbie gig at the weekend.
Oh right, yeah, because
playing Hyde Park or something.
I saw that.
Oh, Danny Dyer came on as well.
Danny Dyer did Blur, did Park Life.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. He probably could have got the actual. He could have got Phil Daniels, couldn't he? Is it Phil Daniels?
Oh, Blur have done that a few times.
Yeah,
they've got.
Yeah.
But
I don't know about that.
I actually thought if because Phil Daniels is getting on a bit now.
You think Danny Dyer will be his stand-in?
If Blur ever wanted to get someone on stage and Phil didn't want to do it, then Danny Dyer would be
as it works,
more than up for it, I think. Anything for a payday,
What was it I read about? I thought this was a bit cheeky. So, like Westside, what's the is that the song that goes?
Yes! Whenever you look, you can see that everybody wants to be part of the rock scene.
I don't know if this was anything quoted by them or anything, but it was written after witnessing acts who were copying the style of others, evoking Everything Not Lost by Coldplay. And I just thought it's a bit rich, really, because I think I would lump them in with bands trying to sort of copy Coldplay.
Yeah, and there was definitely
Coldplay with original kind of they were copying like Radiohead and stuff, but the original sort of dull kind of mainstream stuff.
Dullcore, let's call it.
I don't want to call it dullcore. I don't want it because it sounds like that's a negative, but I don't think it's calling it dull is a negative. It's just what it is, isn't it? It's kind of nice, but
meandering kind of. It's not going to change the world. But it's if it comes on in the pub, you'll probably sort of.
Well, I thought it'd be a good album on like a long drive, like.
Yeah.
I think if you're doing a 40-minute drive,
and
you've got that album, it's quite nice.
Yeah.
And you can introduce it to other people. No one will be offended by it either. No one can, get that off.
Yeah.
People just go, yeah, that's nice.
Oh, yeah,
that's all right.
That's all right, that.
People will tolerate it, wouldn't they, on a car journey?
And then a couple of weeks later, they'd probably say, oh, what was that band you were saying about?
They'll be going...
The one that sounds like Avril Lavigne.
Because today I had El Salvador in my head, and I've only listened to it twice.
It does stick in your head.
That is that is a very good, catchy song. Like, it's not when you watch them playing it live at Glastonbury, you can just see it's so simple.
Yeah,
there's nothing to it. Like, the drummer's bored, the bass player's bored. They're really bored, but you just think, but that's a classic. It's not like a well-written song, really.
It just works.
Got good
you don't
melodies.
have to overthink it. I think that's what it is. It's
and I think a lot of the albums like that, like, he doesn't overthink the lyrics either, because when you listen to some of the you think he's
cringe.
Just reading out a story.
Yeah, I do cringe
rhyming.
a bit at some of the lyrics. And it's he's not the best lyricist in the world.
But I sort of admire it though, because I think, like, as soon as I start to think, oh no, those lyrics aren't very good, I think, but he's had the confidence to just go, I'm just going to tell this story.
Yeah.
And not mess around by trying to rhyme things or say any use any fancy words.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell it in the melody.
Yeah.
So just sort of, I thought that's all right. Actually,
style.
you can get away with it. And also, when you hear about that, he's since become a songwriter for other people.
Yeah. He's done quite a bit, hasn't he? He's
his biggest credit is Budapest, I think, by George Ezra.
Yeah.
Which, you'd have that at the top of your CV, above athlete. If you're listing your contributions to music, Budapest by George Ezra.
Yeah.
Athlete for 10 years.
Yeah.
A band was got 10 years of work.
He lives in Spilsby near Lincoln. Yeah.
We could have gone and saw him. We could have got an actual interview from him.
Nah.
You could probably hire him.
Do you reckon?
Be expensive though.
I wonder how much he charges for stuff like that.
Be interesting, wouldn't it? Because he wrote for You Me at 6, I think.
Did he?
And I just thought bands like that, because you do get bands like that their record label or whatever, I think, recommends people and stuff, don't they? Because if I was in a band like that, I'd kind of be very reluctant. If someone said, we're getting a songwriter in for you, wouldn't you be like, well, we're the songwriters?
Yeah. Do you think it is the label saying we're going to get a songwriter, or is it the band saying we need someone to?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it? Because it could be the label saying we want it to be a bit more of a better commercial success, this one.
Yeah.
So let's get someone who has written songs that have been a commercial success.
Yeah.
To help you out.
Who have we got?
I suppose I'd quite enjoy that, actually. I'd go, bring him on. Yeah. It's going to make us money.
Now we can't quite afford Chris Martin, but
or who else is big? The guy from Bastille does. I remember seeing him in that Lewis Capaldi documentary. He writes for him.
Oh, really?
That sounds like a great job, isn't it? Get some credit in a band that gets some success, and then go off into the background.
Yeah,
and make you money.
And you can still do that when you're getting old. You can still write songs.
And touring, I think.
Yeah, you don't
after
have to
10 years, you'd be like, oh, I can't be asked doing that anymore. No. Oh, here's another weird fact about a song on the album.
All right.
Which I didn't notice. You Got the Style. The chorus section incorporates a section of Hot in Here by Nelly.
I mean, I looked into that earlier, and it's getting hot in here. That's it.
So not really.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's Nelly's it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
I'm sure there are some other things on the album where they reference other songs.
Oh yeah. If
I remember rightly, I think there were bits where I thought, oh, that's a line from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I imagine they're just doing that to be a bit cheeky, aren't they?
Well, yeah, it is tongue-in-cheek lyrics. It's a simple, on Vehicles and Animals, we've got the lyrics for the song Vehicles and Animals here. It's the simple things like the robot Stevie G draws. I mean, is that Stevie G as in Steven Gerrard?
Stevie G draws?
Yeah, what? I don't really know what that means.
Well, it says Vehicles and Animals was influenced by Pot's nephew.
Yeah.
Who would because his nephew would frequently play with toy animals, cars and trains.
All
So
right.
that's a bit. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, but that's every child, isn't it? It's still a bit of a weird. That can't be the only thing.
It says
I thought it'd have a deeper meaning than that.
he can play all by himself for many hours. I have never seen a kid who's so content.
There we
There
are.
is nothing from the outside that can touch him because he's just learning how to be alone with one.
It's maybe about his nephew then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I bet. Wires.
Yeah.
It was about. I know it's
His
not on this
daughter,
album.
was it?
Yeah, it's his daughter who was born prematurely.
Who is now alright, apparently. So-
Yes.
Which I was glad to read.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Before I read that, I didn't have a clue what. Yeah.
I was thinking she had died, but no. Luckily, she did not die.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more. The song would be a lot more tragic.
Yeah.
I think. But it won did it win an Ivor Novello award?
I think it did. Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
I think it's not that great. But then Ivor Novello never get it quite right. I don't think sometimes.
Did it go? I know the album went to number one, but I don't know.
No, this album didn't.
No.
No, the Tourist one.
The Tourist. Yeah. This got in the top 40, but.
Yeah, the songs on this album didn't do very well in the charts, did they? But I think they were like sleeper kind of.
Yeah.
People just continued. They had longevity, really, didn't they? Just stayed. People had them in their consciousness for ages, but they never actually bought loads of them. But the funny thing is that I think about this era of music was the push for singles, which you don't get anymore. On March the 24th, 2003, El Salvador was released as the album's third single and was promoted at an in-store performance at Virgin Megastore in Brighton. So they went out to promote an actual single. Isn't that weird? So that people buy the thing. People would actually buy the one song that's got two B-sides on it.
Wouldn't happen now, would it? It'd be.
I bought singles as well. I remember that. I
yeah.
I remember buying a Muse single because the album wasn't out yet, and they'd released it before.
Yeah.
That's what used to happen, isn't it? I suppose they released the song before the album came out.
Yeah.
And you so loved the band that you'd buy the.
And you get B-sides as well. B-sides aren't the thing anymore, really, are they?
No.
Yeah. And
you get B-sides
then you get
later on down the line, don't you?
Yeah.
When they release a big greatest hits or something.
And B-sides and rarities and
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got bands like, I think 100 Reasons released three versions of the same single, but just with different colours and different B-sides. But it was all the same song.
On CDs?
Yeah, on CD singles.
That's it. They knew
so you have to buy it 3 times to get.
They really made their money off these physical things, didn't they?
Yeah, I just think they just thought they saw. They predicted what was coming, I think, and they just tried to make as much money as possible.
Yeah,
and release as many singles as possible, and then
I think it would have been a better time to be an artist. Well, sort of like. It makes more logical sense to yourself to you, doesn't it? Because if you're in a band, because you go right, so we sell X amount of CDs, and we get X amount of money. Done.
Yeah.
So simple, such a simple model.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just right, so
it's everyone.
It's streamed millions of times.
Yeah.
Now we've got to go on tour to actually make any money.
Yeah.
And sell some T-shirts.
Yeah. Unless you get a song on TikTok or something.
Yeah.
And
then I don't know how that works. Do you get paid by TikTok? I don't know.
Well, it's streaming, isn't it? And these crazies kind of thing happen.
That's how people get back into the mainstream, don't they?
Yeah.
TikTok.
I just haven't got the patience for that.
But then again, it might have been more. It was probably much more difficult, isn't it? Because then. In those days, they would have to go to a studio to record.
Yeah.
With a load of money. They couldn't just. Yeah.
You couldn't just record it at home or anything anymore. Right?
You'd have to have a lot of confidence in your music.
Yeah. I think
before you actually recorded anything.
It's probably a lot less money, but there's a lot more freedom nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not expensive for you to go out into a studio for a day with a producer.
Yeah.
Even if it's an amateur kind of thing.
Yeah. And the
Whereas
technology
it
is
wouldn't have been
advanced.
dreamt of.
Yeah. Can you imagine a band like Athlete releasing this album now?
It's one of those things again. It wouldn't really break through, would it?
And it's
It'd
not
be boring.
And it's not like they're not bad songs, and they've probably stood the test of time, but it just wouldn't. It wouldn't
It's
happen.
very basic.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's nothing really interesting about it, is there?
Nothing that stands out as much.
No. But they were right time at they were like, I think they were like, they're sort of the definition of right time, right place, right time for music.
Yeah.
Like they just came at that time where people were listening to Coldplay, Snow Patrol and stuff.
Yeah.
But Athletes seem to have a bit more edge, maybe.
Yeah.
Better song, like they had more. I think there's more songs on that, like a lot of singles on that album, aren't there, that could have been released and would have done well.
They use a lot of electronic stuff as well, which like bands like Travis, Snow Patrol don't use.
Yeah.
And I mean that makes them stand out a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little bit more quirky, isn't it?
Yeah.
But and his voice is maybe a little bit different. But
it's quite
distinct. But it's like they rode that wave of bands that like they were like in the slipstream of bands that were already like Snow Patrol and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, let's get in on that. Like,
I mean, I don't. This might be controversial, but I can't see much difference between these and Coldplay. Really, I don't know how Coldplay became like world beating. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not knocking.
I think it sometimes is just luck, isn't it? Maybe it's just like where.
Like a marketing.
Maybe Coldplay have got a little bit more of appeal. I think Coldplay have got a bit of a wider appeal.
Do you think?
But even just a slightly wider appeal, I think, sets them on a course for, right, we've got to pick between Athlete and Coldplay. Which one are we going to pick to headline this festival? Well, Coldplay, right. Who's had the most charts? Like, who's had the most hits? All right, Coldplay's had one more hit than Athlete. Let's put them on. Like, it might just come down to, like, Athlete could have been the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
It may be.
Maybe.
if they'd stuck at it. But I didn't realise that they were quite prolific, weren't they? An album every 2 years, one of them said. And then he went for about 10 years, didn't they?
Yeah, 3, 5, 7 and 9, I think, wasn't it? Their albums.
So it is really like sort of they just had that peak and then went, that's it, we're done.
Yeah.
It's quite admirable, really.
Well, yeah,
because they could have just fizzled out, and then like they played Bingley. When did they play that Bingley thing?
Bingley?
Yeah, there's a place called Bingley, isn't there, in Yorkshire? Yeah, Bingley Music Live. When was that? The band toured in July. When's this? And they took the stage at Bingley Music Live and Brownstock Festival. So even in 2010, they were like playing these little festivals.
Yeah.
Because I could imagine them doing. I could imagine if they reunited now, they would be headlining sort of these little festivals that no one's heard of.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. They're not going to end up on,
main stage Glastonbury or anything.
No. What stage was it that you saw them just now?
Oh, it might have been. Was it Pyramid?
So likely mid-afternoon.
Yeah, it was afternoon, kind of. Lots of kids in the audience.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like There were. You can tell they're the sort of band that no one's a hardcore fan, but everybody likes them. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's no hardcore fans, but everyone likes them. So it's like you've got the quantity of fans and not the intensity of people that buy and everything.
I don't think they're never going to be anyone's best band. I don't know whether they're going to get any songs into a wedding.
Just have a look to see what stage they're on. It looks like Pyramid, but they've not done any big shots.
Have you listened to Tourist recently? Because I've got this album and Tourist, and I prefer this one because it's just more upbeat. Like Tourist.
This one's more critically. Well, it's not critically acclaimed necessarily, but like when you look at reviewers that are reviewing Tourist, a lot of them would say, no, it's not as good as what they were.
Yeah.
What their last album was, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, no, I googled like Vehicles and Animals reviews, and like the top ones were like Pitchfork didn't like it, NME hated it, Uncut gave it 1 star. Polished, insubstantial debut from Deptford Quartet.
I think they would eat their words, though. Well, I don't know, because it went platinum. I wonder if they'd go back on their word and go, okay, we maybe we were a bit harsh at the start.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's not an album I would go back to again and again. I don't think. I enjoyed listening to it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I think I did think, oh, maybe I will go back to it one day.
Oh, yeah, one day.
Like as I say, on a long drive.
Yeah.
You go, let's put this on, and then after 2 songs, you go, oh no, I don't know what I was thinking.
or you just sort of disappear, and it's like after 45 minutes, you're like, oh. I don't know where I came. I don't remember the last 45 minutes. I just know I'm already here.
Yeah, because you nodded off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not. No. Oh dear.
Let's see if I've got any other notes then before we sort of wrap up. But
I looked into where Dungeness was. Because
is that a place? Is it?
There is a place in Kent.
I kept seeing it mentioned, and I just didn't even know how to pronounce the word at the start. I was like, Dungeness.
Well,
but then I realised, oh right.
Yeah, they say it in the song.
Okay.
And I had no idea they were actually saying it because it's kind of a gang vocal.
He moved from Manchester, didn't he? I think the singer. He was going to go to university in Edinburgh, but then he decided to move in with his mates and form Athlete instead. Oh. So he made the right choice, I think. Deptford.
Yeah.
Apparently they're very proud of living there, aren't they?
It doesn't even sound nice, does it really?
No, the depth is in it. Is in the title. It's horrible.
Any more notes? What else have you got?
What was this one that I thought was quite good?
I haven't got a lot of notes on this.
Okay, during the writing of this album, I think they went on tour. Let's see if I can find what I was talking about. I mean, it's nothing. It's not even that interesting. I don't even know why we're bothering with it. They went on tour a couple of times during the making of this album.
They did. And
Parlophone were allowing them to sort of just do the album at their own pace. And I thought, that's unheard of.
Yeah,
so
that is
record label giving you money to make a record and go, no, just take your time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know how they must have been very confident in their abilities.
Oh,
to produce an album.
Toured with quite a few good people. Toured as Suede, Polyphonic Spree, Snow Patrol.
Sort of quite predictable, isn't it? They're a band that will do the job. Like if you're going to book a sport band,
they're solid, aren't they?
Quite a solid sport band. They aren't going to upstage you.
Yeah.
But they'll get the crowd warmed up.
Yeah,
ready.
Well, except if they played Wires.
Oh God, yeah! Don't play Wires, guys. Come on.
Wires. Going in.
Apparently, the singer said that the band had only written 4 songs when they got signed.
Wow.
So they said, whereas other bands would have an album's worth already, he only had 4.
How? So they obviously didn't go to a gig to sign them.
No, that's true. They
must have heard a demo.
Heard the EP or whatever with the 4 tracks they've got, and that's it.
I want more of that.
Which seems unbelievable, doesn't it?
More of the same, please. Yeah.
So a lot of it's luck, isn't it? Because there might have been 1,000 bands like Athlete with 4 songs that sounded just as good. But Athlete, what was it we were saying before? Survivorship bias, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
We've heard of Athletes, so therefore we think there's some miraculous discovery that came out of 4 songs. But there's loads of bands out there that sounded just like them.
Yeah.
And they happen to be the ones that probably worked a little bit harder, maybe.
Yeah.
And the first album's very good.
They got on the right tours, and
knew the right people.
Yeah. So, best album list of best albums. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. You've forgotten the whole.
I don't know
the whole premise.
Would this album exist on the best albums of all time ever?
I'd like to say yes, maybe this time.
Oh, yeah,
because I'm going to stick to it because I thought that early on. I think yes, I'll stick to it.
Okay.
Because I think in the best record collection in the world, best CD collection in the world, I think that has its place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
I mean, because they're not all going to be mind-blowing, are they?
No.
Or the CD collection. You don't want to have a CD collection which just like Rolling Stones top 500 albums of all time. That's just obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got to throw ones like these in there where it captures a time of music, doesn't it? I think
it's very of the time, very 2000s, very kind of it sums up that kind of era quite well, I think.
And if you were going to give a songwriting class, if you're a teacher, you could play that and go, here's how you write
a pop song.
Good songs, good pop songs with a guitar, piano.
Yeah.
So
and a little styrofoam.
I nearly said styrofoam.
Yeah.
Stylophone. Stone.
Well, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Athlete. Kind of rounds it up. Nice.
What's the next one? Oh yeah, how long have we got?
The next. So, okay, I've not done this before. I'm going to give the choice of 2 albums by the same artist.
Okay, is it just because you can't pick your best favorite?
No, it's because my favorite is an album that you will not like, and the other album is a lot more accessible, a lot more not easier listening, but a lot more melodic and a lot more. You can get into it a lot more, and it was bigger as well. It sold a lot. It was more successful. So I'll just tell you.
Who it would be.
Yeah, I'll just tell you.
Could be Audio Slave. Could be Avenged Sevenfold.
It is
Avenged Sevenfold.
It is Avenged Sevenfold. It is. Okay,
I'll like one of the albums probably that you've got there.
Yeah. So
I think my sister had it, and I'd listened to it probably.
So one of my favourite albums of all time is Waking the Fallen, which was their second album.
Don't recognise that one.
But the big album that really sort of made them go stratospheric.
The one with like Beast in the Harlot.
Yeah, was City of Evil.
Yeah, I'd go for that one.
Also a brilliant album.
I'll go for that one, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
I think it'd be nostalgic.
That's cool. There's probably
because the other one will probably have. It's more likely to go in the best record collection in the world after I've looked at it and decided it than the other one probably. Did you not think?
Maybe so.
Probably is a fairer one to choose.
Yeah. It's a great album, and it's just got some real big riffs and
I think I used to try and learn the solos on guitar, but obviously this is when I was probably like 13 and didn't know really how to play guitar.
I mean, the drums are just kind of just incredible.
It's like quadruple kick pedals.
It's just mad.
I'll be interested in that.
So Avenged Sevenfold, City of Evil, 2005.
Still in that.
Yeah,
in that era.
They all are.
Yeah, face it.
Okay, cool. That's your homework then.
That'll be one of those CDs where I'll be embarrassed to be caught listening to it. I felt a bit like that with Athlete. I thought I don't want people to overhear me listening to Athlete because I'll just be like, this guy's stuck in the year 2000. Nobody listens to Athlete anymore. Do you know what I mean? You don't want people to think you're still listening to that.
Yeah, they're not even together still. At least Avenged Sevenfold are still together.
It's slightly embarrassing, isn't it?
Avenged Sevenfold headlined Glastonbury, not Glastonbury, Download this year. So
true, yeah. But
Athlete did not.
Still, I wouldn't want people to say no. I listened to the Avenged Sevenfold either. I'm very sort of self-conscious about what people would hear me listening to.
Really?
It's like Radio 2 was on today in the office, and someone came in like to see who was in there, and it was like some jazz or some like 20s swing kind of thing on.
Right.
And I thought, now that person that came in to look to see who was in the office and went out,
20s swing,
will just always associate me with that with that music that was on when they came in. Do you know what I mean? Because you will, won't you?
Yeah.
You would. If you went into an office that was something on, you wouldn't assume it's a radio station.
Yeah.
You think they're listening to that.
Yes.
That's weird.
Oh, I'll come back later. Okay.
It was like that, though. He was a bit embarrassed, I think. He was like, I was just coming in to see what IT equipment you've got. Bye.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, you're not going to check then. He didn't even check.
Obviously, if he's listeners to this music, he's probably got no IT equipment.
Yeah, or he's fine.
And he's still using a typewriter.
No, I think he's listening to this. He knows he's got his life sorted out. This guy. He knows. He's already looked around the room and he knows what's. Yeah.
Fucking hipsters.
Oh yeah, he would have seen the beard and stuff as well, which I need trimmed and thought.
Right then, I'm going to get some dinner. I think.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. I had a bag of crisps in the break.
Oh.
Oh, what's the band? What's the band with the
guy?
The band with the bass player.
Oh, the guy in that band.
The band with the bass player. No.
Athlete.